Hey guys, it's Amanda. For those of you who don't already know me, and this is the Mass Effect voice meme version 2.0 by Savander Slice or Savander Slice. I don't know how to say your URL. .tumblr.com. So I was in the Mass Effect tag, and a bunch of people were doing this, and I'm like, well, I'm already wearing the hoodie, so why the fuck not? This is, by the way, not the official hoodie. This is a hand painted one that turned out kind of shitty in places. So don't judge. Um, Rules: record yourself answering 10 or more of these questions and then post to your blog. Obviously, I'm going to post it to my blog. I'm just going to go down the list and answer them all briefly / in depth if I feel like it. State your Tumblr URL and general part of the world where you hail from. My URL is sexteenrockandroll.tumblr.com. And I am originally from San Diego, California. I'm currently living in Evanston, Illinois, which is where I'm going to school. When did you first start playing Mass Effect? Which game in the trilogy did you start with, and how did you get into it? Well, back when Steam was having that deal where you could get the first 2 games for $10, I did that. That's when I started playing. That's when I got the games. I started with the first game pretty much immediately after I bought them. So, admittedly, I haven't been in the fandom for that long, but I have done at least one solid in-depth playthrough of every single game. I've done 2 playthroughs of one really fast one really in-depth one, and then really in-depth playthroughs of 2 and 3 while as Paragon, and I'm currently starting a Renegade playthrough of all 3 games. So that's that. How did I get into it? Well, my boyfriend Max, grumblebear.tumblr.com, has been into Mass Effect for a really, really long time and has been talking about it constantly, and the entire time I've known him since before we started dating. So that thing on Steam happened, and I texted him like, yo, should I do this? And he says, yes, join me and we can save the galaxy as boyfriend and girlfriend. Because he's great. So, yeah. Thanks, Max, because you got me obsessed with this freaking game. Do you enjoy Mass Effect? Or, wait, I skipped a question. Console or PC? PC, because I already said Steam. Do you enjoy playing Mass Effect 3 on multiplayer mode? No, I've never done that. Why would I do that? I like playing Mass Effect alone in the dark with beer. I don't want to interact with people while I'm playing Mass Effect. Do you prefer FemShep or BroShep? FemShep, because ladies are cool, and I like the fact that she is this very powerful figure who happens to be a woman. She's not dominated by the fact that she's a woman, because normally when you get these very strong female characters, they make a point that they are a strong female character with a TM next to it. But there's no difference between FemShep and BroShep, like, as characters, which is how it should be. Like, yeah, it's cool for dudes to be strong, but ladies can also be strong too, and they can be strong in the same way. So, FemShep. I'm actually kind of scared to do a BroShep playthrough. State your Shepard's full name and any nicknames he or she has. Well, my Paragon Shepard was Amanda Shepard, because I'm a narcissistic prick, and my name is Amanda Shepard. Shepard is spelled differently, but it's close enough. So obviously I was going to do that. And my Renegade is Bridget Shepard. Bridget is a Celtic name, meaning powerful, strong-willed. And it's also a saint name, which I feel fits FemShep pretty damn well. Your Shepard's personal history, psych profile, and class. My Paragon was a spacer, soul survivor, soldier. and my renegade is a colonist war hero soldier. What does your shepherd look like? She has red hair and a ponytail, and she's got green eyes, and she's white. Basically, I started with the default and just tweaked things to make me happier, like gave her fuller lips and a bigger nose and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about what she looks like because I could show you a picture, which would be more effective. Briefly explain any pre-Mass Effect headcanons you have for your Shepard's origins. I don't really have headcanons about her origins. I have a lot of headcanons about her personality and how that's colored by the backstory I've chosen to give her. But not really about, like, events in her life, which I guess makes me boring. I do really like the colonist backstory and all of the implications that brings about in her personality, so we'll go with that. What's your Shepard's favorite armor, customizable or not? In 1, I like the mercenary armor. I like the default armor in 2 and 3, I guess. I don't know. Aesthetically, I like the defaults. I put on whatever pieces give me bonuses. I don't know. But the next question, what color is your Shepard's armor? It's black with gray accents, and the pattern is the liney pattern, not the default pattern and not the camo pattern, but the middle one. And it's red because it looks fucking cool, and that's why. Spell color. COLOR. I'm American. Does your Shepherd wear a helmet most of the time? No, because she's gorgeous and I like to look at her face. List your Shepherd's favorite methods of attack. Again, I'm kind of boring, and I like to hide behind things and shoot bad guys with guns. Big guns, which is why I play as a soldier. I tend to favor the assault rifles. I really like the submachine guns in 3. I sometimes make my biotic throw people away from me when they get too close, because I don't like people being close to me. Describe your Shepherd's personality in exactly 5 words. This question had me stumped. So I wrote it down on a sticky note. So my paragon is delicate, motherly, kind, understanding, and poised. And my renegade is fierce, protective, snarky, confrontational, and sensitive. Delicate on my paragon in the sense that she handles things delicately, not that she is a delicate wilting flower. And sensitive in my renegade's case in that she's very sensitive if you insult her or her ship or her friends, because she's so protective over them and takes things very personally, which is why she's so in your face. If you play the romances, who is your favorite love interest in all 3 games? Kaidan. Explain why your Shepherd loves this person in 1 sentence or less. It makes sense. That's my sentence. Why do you, the player, like this love interest the best? Is it different from why your Shepherd does? A little bit of elaboration. I guess it's not really that different. I personally like Kaidan the best because it makes so much sense. I feel like there's so much that's going on around Shepherd that makes so little sense. Nothing makes sense, and she's she's just a soldier, and now she's thrust into this position where she's forced to lead, and there's so little going on around her that makes any sense, and everything is so confusing and mind-boggling. And then there's Caden, and he doesn't have high expectations of her, and he doesn't push her, and he doesn't force her into anything. And for me, I feel like Shepard is kind of this, both of my Shepards anyway, yes, she has a very deep caring of those around her. Like, my Paragon was very motherly, and my Renegade is very just, like, fiercely protective. But in both cases, I feel like it's very difficult for her to connect to people around her. Especially my Renegade, because she's got that colonist backstory and has issues connecting with people because she lost her parents in such a violent way at such a young age. Her parents, her friends, her loved ones, everyone around her, she lost all of those people. So she has some connection issues, and she tends to push people away. But Caden makes sense to her, and things are simple with him, and it's not a big to-do. Like, look at their Citadel date in 3. They just go to that little cafe and talk about beer and Canada, and just like nothing around them in all the insanity can affect them in that moment. And it's just simple and easy, and it makes sense. Next question. If you couldn't romance your favorite love interest, and you weren't allowed to leave your Shepard single, who would you pick as an alternate love interest? I don't know. I guess Thane? If Lady Shep could romance Miranda or Jack, yes, those ones. But for Lady Shep, I guess Thane. I romanced Garrus in my Paragon playthrough of 2. I'm sorry, Shikari and shippers. There's a lot of great one-liners and stuff, but it's not that deep connection to me the way that Shepard and Caden are. So I guess I think I'm gonna go with Thane on this one, because he's tragic and Shepard's tragic, and tragic lovers. Who is your Shepard's best friend and why? Rex is my homeboy. I personally really love the Krogan. They're my favorite race. I love everything about them. They are my grumpy turtles. So my Shepards tend to spend a lot of time with Rex and with Grunt, because I like Rex and Grunt. Garrus is also really awesome, and Shepard, in my book, trusts him over anyone else, not necessarily as a romantic person, but as a second in command. So Rex, Grunt, Garrus are my bros. What is your favorite mission out to play out of all 3 games, and why? I really like the suicide mission in 2. The first time I played it, Morden died, so I went back and replayed it, because, fuck no, because I love Morden, and I replayed it and everyone lived. So I think that it's a really well constructed mission from a story standpoint, and everyone is important, which is a central part of Mass Effect for me, is that everyone matters, and literally everyone is involved in that mission. So yeah, the suicide mission's probably my favorite. Which mission is your least favorite and why? In the first one, the one with the monkeys in the mine, where you have to go get the thing from the monkey. Hate that one. If you had to be any of the NPCs in the game, which would you choose and why? Arya, because she's so freaking cool. And like everyone seems to worship her because she's so fucking awesome and terrifying. I would just love to like crawl around in her brain for a while. Which I guess is sex with an Asari, is crawling around in there. I'm just gonna stop. I skipped a question. If you had to be one of the Mass Effect aliens, which one would you pick and why? As a very intelligent female, I feel like I'm compelled to say Asari. Because they're all really pretty and feminine, and there's no ugly Asari, and they all seem to be really smart and really good at what they do, and all of them are really powerful. But I want to be a Krogan, because the Krogan are fucking awesome. And yeah, I like the Krogan. So that was 24, now to 26, because I already answered 25. Briefly explain your silliest or strangest headcanon. I don't know. I think that my Shepard is, in addition to being a really bad dancer, she's really ticklish, which is something that the crew likes to make fun of her for. And when they're casually hanging out in the lounge, like tease her about and tickle her, and she threatens to kill them. Yes. Briefly explain your post Mass Effect 3 headcanons. My headcanon is that the ending didn't happen like that, and Shepard lived happily ever after in Canada and had many Canadian babies that looked like Kaidan. The end. Yeah, so that was this thing that I just recorded. Hope you enjoyed.